Is Airbnb dead, or does it still make sense to become a host in 2024? Honestly, I think I'm quite a good candidate to tell you because I started my Airbnb journey in 2022, back then when interest rates started to be sky high. Since then, I've acquired 3 properties and I don't have any interest rate that's below 6%, so it's quite astronomical. However, despite the interest rates, I'm still able to make a really comfortable income with my Airbnbs. And I think interest rates are also like one of the main reasons why people think Airbnb is dead, because your payment can be super high. So for instance, here's a mortgage payment of 500k with 4% interest versus 7% as they are right now. And also interest rates are one of the main reasons why people think Airbnb is not a viable business option in 2024. However, let me show you my numbers, not to brag, but just to show you that it's still possible. To be really transparent with you guys, I'm gonna share how much I'm paying for my Airbnb. The first house my wife and I bought was in 2022, and back then I was 27 years old. It was my very first time buying a property, and it was super exciting, but also like super scary, because never in my entire life did I make such a big investment. So we bought the home for $879,000 and put 15% down. A couple months before our closing date, interest rates were around 4%, but by the time we were closing, they were 6%, which made our payment much higher. After property taxes and home insurance, the monthly payment for this house comes out to about $4,700 that Penny Mac gets every month from my bank account. It's so much money, guys. But because we analyzed the market and did so much due diligence and research before making this decision, we were confident that things gonna work out. For our second property that we purchased about 1 year later, we got a similar interest rate, but our payment is a little bit lower because we put 25% down, so our payment comes out to about $3,700 a month. So yeah, it's quite a scary amount of money that you have to come up with every single month. But now let's show you how much money we've made so far in 2024. Being so transparent with you guys deserves a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Year to date, so almost 6 months have passed in 2024. We had a net payout of $217,000, which includes accommodation fee, cleaning fee. The net payout of $217,000 also includes this cleaning fee of $15,000, so you still have to deduct it because we paid that, which brings it to about $202,000. And after mortgage and utilities, you're looking at a profit of about $145,000. You also can't really say that the net profit was $145,000 because you still have to buy supplies. Maybe like sometimes something breaks or you have to buy new sheets or whatever it's gonna be. But after all, it's still a very nice and convenient profit for some semi-passive income, as I would call it. And again, I'm only showing this to you guys to show you that it's possible and that I have some sort of an idea what I'm actually talking about here. See, it's still possible to generate positive cash flow even though you have these sky high interest rates, but you got to be really smart about it. And the main thing I can really recommend you guys is to really know your numbers and to really analyze deals in depth. You can do this by looking on Airbnb, which is a platform that shows you the revenue of different Airbnbs in different cities. I'm not exactly sure how accurate Airbnb is, but it can be a really good starting point to show you what might be going on, and from there on you can dig a little bit deeper. Airdna is also like how I discovered the concept for my Airbnbs, and currently we're standing in one of them. Also guys, I'm checking Zillow and Redfin almost every day because I'm always checking out what's going on in the market and I want to see new deals, and I'm seeing so many Airbnbs for sale. Pretty much all of them have one thing in common, is that they don't stand out. They just look too boring. To give you an example, here's an Airbnb in the Phoenix area that's currently for sale. The owner even decided to sell the home furnished. And what you guys have to know about the Phoenix area is that Airbnb owners in this area enjoy very little restrictions. So unless you live in an HOA, pretty much anybody can do an Airbnb. And as a result, there are so many Airbnbs in this area. It's so incredibly competitive. So if you don't stand out, you have no chance. And looks like he put absolute very minimal effort into making this place nice. And therefore, I don't think it's like any surprise that he is selling his property. And maybe in some places, such as Hawaii, for instance, a place like this would work out super well because there's such a crazy demand. And even if you have like bad photos on your listing, or even if your decor is not on point, you still make a great income with your Airbnb. However, in really saturated areas like Phoenix, you can't get away with stuff like that. Also, like when you want to run an Airbnb, I think you should have like some sort of a motivation to make it special and stand out. And I think otherwise you're much better off by making it a long-term rental. I think I made my point that it's still possible, very clear. Also, I'm currently working on a new project, a huge project. I bought a house in the end of last year. I'm currently gutting it and doing a whole remodel, and it's gonna be my biggest and greatest Airbnb. Also, I want you to join me on this journey, so make sure to check out my next video. Also, I'm gonna show you some really interesting cost breakdowns, how much I paid for gutting the entire property and furnishing it, and also for doing landscaping, which is huge. Make sure that you check out my upcoming videos so that you don't miss out. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you next time.